welcome to the ND. I'm Amira and this is Hisham. And
Hello.
today we're going to talk about how did you start with entrepreneurship. So I understand you started at an early age, maybe 8 years old, and now
8 years old. Yeah, I was running my own business when I was 8 years old.
thank you.
Yeah.
And now you're like maybe 49. I don't know.
Okay. Is there a question?
Yes. Uh, okay. So the question is, since you start early, and now you know better, you've been 30, with your 30 years experience, what would you tell your younger self now? What would you tell him?
That's a good question because it's a question that really isn't realistic. If I was going to tell my younger self something, I'd probably want to take the brain that I have now and put it into my younger self because there's things that you can only realize as the years go by. As you gain more experience, you get wiser, you become more efficient, you make less mistakes, and you can sort of foresee what's going to happen more than what you could when you were younger. So it's just part of becoming an entrepreneur, especially if you start young, especially if you start in your 20s. There's a lot of learning ahead of you. I mean, it's a question that's just not based on reality, really. But if I was to give myself some advice, it'll be to seek advice and learn, basically, by people who are successful. And you've got online, now you've got AI, you've got social media. You can become part of groups, but listen, and take advice. That'll be the big thing. But aside from that, experience is there's no substitute for that. Yeah. So
During your time, do you have many successful people around you that you can seek advice from?
I guess where I probably suffered was exactly that. Like a lot of entrepreneurs, I actually locked myself away. And here's the thing. I think if you are going to be successful, you are going to have to spend a lot of time alone. Um, uh, you're going to have to spend a lot of time working alone. But there's also time to seek advice. I didn't really have a sort of a sphere of people that I was communicating with regularly, and to sort of absorb their experience, either in person or online for that matter. I guess I just had my head buried in my work too much to consider that, but that's something that definitely would have enhanced and sort of sped up my journey to get to where I wanted to get.
So,
But
yeah, basically you did everything alone without a mentor beside you.
the vast majority of the time, I did, yeah, yeah. Um, and I guess the next thing is, in that type of environment, how would you come up if you know, when it, the basis, I guess, of what I'm saying is if you wanted to become an entrepreneur, if you wanted to start an entrepreneur, how could you do it? And there's different scales, right? I mean, there's entrepreneurs that require massive capital to commence their business, but there's others who might have a 9 to 5 job and are looking to start their own business. I guess for today, we can just focus on those who are sort of smaller scale. And I think the big thing for everybody is what product or service am I going to offer? That's a big one, obviously. And people ask me to make recommendations, and I normally don't because if I did know what a good product or service would be, I would use it myself. Obviously, the first place to start is your own expertise. Can you go down that path as an entrepreneur, using your expertise in whatever field that happens to be, and can you make money from it? And is it scalable? Um, so that's a starting point. But aside from that, I mean, there's never been a better time than today to become an entrepreneur. You've got so many resources now. in person and also online as well. And now with the preponderance of AI, it's never been easier to sort of do your research thoroughly to come up with a product or service. Um, and secondly, also, I think meditation is quite critical when you do when you are looking for a product or service as well. That helps a lot. And actually, a lot of my staff laugh at me when I talk about meditation, whether it comes to business or personal. And I think you're one of them. But I think meditation is absolutely critical to every entrepreneur who has high ambitions. Um, so that's what I would recommend to sort of getting off the ground. And you also got to decide what scale you want. Do you want just are you sort of just after a supplementary income, or do you really want to make it big? Do you want something that's scalable? So that's something that you have to decide on, right?
Okay. Okay. And how do you cope with like failures?
Sorry, with what?
How do you cope with failures?
Well, you got no choice. When you do fail, there's different types of failures. I mean, for example, if you're a home-based business and um, you don't have to carry inventory, and you know you basically your expenses are operational, then you may not have that much debt. It's easy to sort of shut things down and pick yourself up again and start again, like all successful entrepreneurs do. But on the other hand, if you do go out of business and you do owe a lot of people a lot of money or a few people, it's important that you do take care of your debts before you do move on. Um, don't stiff anybody. Do things the right way. Pay back what you need to, then move on. Right? Or maybe you can do both at the same time. That's very, very important. But failures are a part of becoming an entrepreneur. I don't think I think it's very difficult to find an entrepreneur who's had nothing, or who he or she has had nothing but success. So you just got to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move ahead, and try to do better, right? That may actually involve you having to go back into the workforce again for a little while, take care of your finances, pay back some of the people you owe money to, then get back on that horse again and start again. Right? And you can do that while you're still working until you have enough income and enough profit to let go of your employment and become a full-time entrepreneur again.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's part of being an entrepreneur.
Thank you,
I'm glad I can entertain you.
thank you, Sham.
It's a pleasure.